Personally speaking, I love to spend time with my family and my friends. I love to travel and I love music, all different types. I am a mother of two wonderful sons. Christopher is in the black, he is 22 years old, and Trevor is in the orange, and he is 19 years old. Before becoming a nurse, I was a flight attendant for 12 years. I have been a registered nurse for 8 years total. 5 years I spent on a med-surg floor, 2 years in the emergency room as a trauma nurse, and I have independently contracted as a case manager and also as an educational speaker for a pharmaceutical company. I am currently working on my master's degree in nursing education. I have been a nursing instructor now for the last year. I was recently promoted in December to an academic coach position, and I'm finding great joy in that position as well. I want to stay in my current role after graduation. In my academic coach position, I am coaching high-risk students. I'm helping them develop plans of study to reach their academic success. In my faculty position, I am currently working with the senior students in the capstone course, their transition to practice. And I enjoy challenging the students in their critical thinking in this stage of the program. I really enjoy challenging their knowledge base and developing that critical thinking. I teach because I'm passionate about the science and the art of nursing. The art of nursing includes compassion, instinct, and intellect. The science of nursing helps heal bodies, while the art of nursing promotes well-being. The nurse who's mastered both can work with other healthcare professions to provide holistic care. My teaching philosophy centers on this balance of science and art. I uphold the constructivism paradigm of student-centered learning, where my role is to facilitate the construction of knowledge, stimulate curiosity, and promote independent thinking. As a nursing educator, I know that I must encourage my students to be responsible, lifelong learners, to adapt to change, to collaborate with other disciplines, to search for the evidence, and to do all these things with confidence. I believe these skills will empower them to stand alongside other healthcare providers, policymakers, and researchers to provide patient-centered holistic care. My qualifications include my prior work experience, my Bachelor's of Science in Nursing degree, my Master's of Science in Nursing degree that will be complete in August of this year, and my Nurse Educator certification that I plan on obtaining in October of this year. Which leads me directly into my one-year plan. This year, my plan consists of finishing my master's degree and obtaining my Nurse Educator certification. My 3-year plan is to move into an administrative position, such as the Assistant Dean of Nursing. I would also like to go back to school and obtain my PhD. My 5-year plan is quite extensive. My 5-year plan includes completing my doctorate degree. I would also like to move into a Dean of Nursing position for a couple of years. After I gain the administrative experience, I'd like to move to another country and start my own nursing school or nursing program and work as a part-time online instructor. Doing the part-time online instructing position is my actual retirement goal. There are a couple ways I perform self-assessment. I conduct class meetings, midterm assessments, and final course assessments with my students. I think student assessment is one of the very best ways I can gain very good insight as to what is effective and what is not. Every group of students I have found is different as well as so it's very important to analyze and get the students' feedback with each group, because sometimes we have to make changes in our style of teaching. Sometimes that's required. The other method I rely on is my peer assessments. I'm a new faculty member and I love getting feedback from my peers. I have learned so much through their tips and their mentorship. Lastly, I do self-reflection at least every semester, sometimes more often. Sometimes I self-reflect weekly. It just depends on what I think I need and what course I'm teaching at the time. When I self-reflect, I have to be brutally honest with myself so that I am able to grow and develop further as an educator. I take into account all different sources. I gain feedback from all my different sources, and I make the appropriate adjustments needed in the classroom and outside so that I can achieve some improvement and some growth in my education career. I understand that the only way I will grow professionally in this field is by embracing change and being open and willing to make modifications in my originally scheduled plan of delivery. I think this is easier for me since I am so new in this field of nursing. Once you are set in a certain style of teaching, I think it can be challenging to change what you are used to doing. So I always have to remind myself to remain open to trying new things and to never take offense to people's insight or tips or feedback. Sometimes that's hard. Sometimes we take things quite personally. For quality improvement, the current nursing program I'm a part of needs quite a bit of reform. I'm learning by leaps and bounds because of this. I have volunteered to chair the curriculum committee. We are doing a lot of work with the curriculum committee. We are realigning our curriculum across the board and evaluating every LPN and RN course from lecture content, lab content, simulation content, and clinical content to ensure the appropriateness and effectiveness of our curriculum. We have identified a great deal of overlap instead of building from one course to the next. Ooh, so that's a lot of work. I am also a faculty advisor to the Student Council and the Nursing Planning Committee. I also participate in the Faculty Orientation Development Project and the Leadership Committee. All of these groups and projects contribute to the school's quality improvement. Thank you very much for your time in going over my strategic plan for my role as a nurse educator once I am done with my program. Thank you once again.